morning. Welcome back. Today's topic is the last topic of the chapter, conditional and iterative statement, and today's topic is nested loop statement. Okay. So previously we learned about nested if statement, in which one if statement is executed under another if statement. Similarly, when we are executing nested loop statement, one loop statement is executing another loop statement. Maybe both are while loop, or maybe both are for loop, or maybe one is while, another is the for loop statement. But in this case, when we are repeating the execution of one or more statement, then either you can use a loop or multiple loops. Within using a single loop also we can repeatedly execute some instruction, or the same task can be done using multiple loops. But in case of nested loop, what happened? The total number of execution of the statement is become the product of the number of execution of both the loop. For example, suppose here I have written two kind of nested loop statement. One is using while loop, where both are the while loops, and another is here both are the for loop. Now suppose in this while loop, whatever be the condition, this condition is satisfying 4 times, or according to the initialization statement or according to the iterative statement, the particular first loop will be executed 4 times. And in between that loop, if you note the indentation, this loop is written in within this loop. So at each execution of the first loop or the outer loop, the inner loop will execute, or inner loop will continue all its execution. For example, suppose we have two values, A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 0. And in the first condition I have written a test condition like A less than 5. And in the second I have written A less than 3. So what happened here? The second one is B less than 3. So in the first loop or the outer loop, initially the value of A is 0 and the condition is A less than 5. So initially the condition satisfying, and the next statement or the statement those are written inside the loop will be executed, and inside the loop there is another while loop in which the condition is B less than 3. Again the value of B is 0, so this condition is satisfying, so that the next statement will execute. So suppose both the statement was A are iterated or increased by 1. After each repetition the value of A is increased by 1 as well as the value of B is increased by 1. Then what happened? The total number of execution of the first loop is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Because the condition is less than 5, so 4 is the last value that is less than 5. So it will execute at 5 times, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 times it will execute. But the second loop will execute 3 times. So at each execution of the first loop, that means when the first loop is executing, at the first execution of the first loop, or at each execution of the first loop, the second loop or the inner loop completes its all execution. That means when it executes once, it executes thrice. So likewise the total number of execution is equal to 5 into 3. That means this statement whatever written within the second loop will be executed 15 times in this particular case. Likewise, if you are using the for loop also, then also the total number of execution of the statement those are written under the second loop or under the inner loop will be the product of the number of execution of the inner loop and the outer loop. So this is what your nested loop is working. But practically the nested loop is used when we are doing something or when we are working into different things, right? Suppose we are displaying something like rows and column manners, or in a matrix manner we are displaying something, or we are calculating something in matrix, or generally in matrix manipulation or matrix calculation, whether it is product of matrix or sum of matrix or transpose of matrix, anything like that. For that kind of situation we have to use the outer nested loop concept. So here we have three examples, three different kind of example, and these are the programmatic example for explaining you how the nested loop is working. Okay, so the program is write a program to display the below structure, and here we have three different kind of structure. This is structure 1, structure 2 and structure 3. Now if you notice the structure 1, then in case of structure 1 it is displayed as 5 rows and 5 columns, or the asterisks are arranged in 5 rows and 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 columns are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 rows are there. So when we draw the particular thing, suppose in your pen, using pen and paper, you are drawing this particular structure. Then what happen? Either we'll start from row wise. You start the first row, draw the first asterisk, second asterisk, third asterisk, fourth asterisk, fifth asterisk. Then come to the next row. Again first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Again come to the third row. Likewise we can draw the asterisk. The same thing is done in computer or in programming or in Python programming using nested loop. So here what happened, the outer loop is used for the row and the inner loop is used for the column, because the outer loop, first it will be one row, then the column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be increased. After it will be fifth column, then the row will be increased to 1. Row will be increased to 2. Again column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the row will be increased to 3. So the outer loop is used for the rows, whereas the inner loop is used for the column. Now look at the program. In the first I have written for I in range 1 to 6. That means the initial value of I is 1. It will be travel up to 6. There is no any iterative statement, so that it will be by default it is increased by 1. So the value of I will be started with 1, then it will be increased to 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Because 6 is the condition, that is less than 6 is have to be traveled. So 6 is the it will be traveled up to your 5. So the value of I will be initially 1. Then after one repetition it will become 2. After second repetition it will become 3. After third repetition it will become 4. So initially the I is equal to 1, it is less than 6, the condition is satisfying, so the next loop will be executed, or the next statement will execute. In the next statement it is a one more loop where j is equal to j in range 1 to 6. So j will also execute 6 times. So how it will execute? Now the value of I is 1, the condition is satisfying, the value of j is 1, the condition is satisfying. So print asterisk. So this asterisk will be printed. After that end statement is here. It is a new keyword we are using, that is the end keyword. The end keyword is used for the continuation of printing or continuation of display. Now suppose I am not using the end keyword here, then what happens? The asterisks are displayed like this. Each time it will be displayed in a new row. But when we are using the end keyword, instead of displaying the new row, it will be displayed in the same row. That's why we are using the end keyword here. So what happened? The first asterisk will display. Then from this position it will be written, the execution or the flow will be written to this position. Now the value of j become 2. So that the second asterisk is displayed. Again it will become 3, the third asterisk, 4, and the fifth asterisk will be displayed. After that the value of I becomes C, so that this condition failed or this loop has been failed, so this statement cannot be executed. So that the loop else statement that is written outside of the loop will be executed. And what is written outside of the loop? That is the print statement. Now the print statement, simply it will has print statement without having any kind of message, without having any kind of variable, quote or keyword, anything. This simply does to print a new line or create a new line, so that now the control comes to the new line, and after that from this position the loop again transferred to I. Now I is increased to 2. Initially I was 1, now the value of I is increased to 2. Here what happened? Again the J will be increased, J loop will be executed. In the J loop what happened? Again J will be from 1 to 5, so that first asterisk, second, third, fourth, fifth asterisk printed. Then a new line printed. Again it will come to the I loop, so that the value will be increased to 3. So likewise, when both the loops are completed, then this complete structure will be displayed on your monitor. This is how the for the nested loop is working. At each execution of the I loop, the J loop will complete all its execution. How many executions are there? The number of execution will be completed at each execution of the I loop. Now come for a second structure in which the first row having only 1 asterisk, second row 2 asterisks, third row 3 asterisks, fourth asterisk, and the fifth row has 5 asterisks. So the similarity between these two structures is that the number of rows are same. In both the case, the number of rows are 5. So we are using the first loop for the row. So there should not be any changes in the first loop. That must be same as the first case as well as in the second case. What is the difference between two structures? Here the columns number has been changed. Here all the rows having 5 columns, but here the row column numbers are gradually increased according to the row number. That means at the first row only 1 column are there, second row 2 columns are there, third row 3 columns are there. So the first loop doesn't have any kind of changes. The same thing written over here for I in range 1 to 6, I in range 1 to 6, but J here for J in range 1 to I. 1 to I in the sense that means it will travel from 1 to I. What is I? I is nothing than the row number. So here what happened? As the first row it will be executed 1, in the second row it will be executed 2, and the third row it will be executed 3 times. So here what happened? In the first row it will executed only 1, because 1 is the value, starting value, as well as the value of I is 1, so it will execute only 1. So one statement will execute, 1 asterisk will be displayed. Then this loop has been failed, so the print statement appears, so that the control comes to the second row. Again it will return to I. Now value of I has become 2. Now what happened? Value of I is equal to become 2. J will again started from 1. It will execute it 2 times. So 1 for 1, another for 2. Now 2 asterisks are displayed. Then it will come to the third line. In here 3 asterisks are displayed, because the I value of I will become 3 now. So this will be executed 3 times, for 1, for 2, and for 3. Likewise it will display each row, it will be display the number of columns as per the number of rows. In the third structure, which is the reverse of this structure, the second structure, reverse of the second structure is the third structure. Here what happened? Same thing, the number of rows are same, but the number of columns are gradually decreased. It is initially 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Now here we have to start the J loop in a reverse way and gradually decreasing the values. Till now we are not using any loop in which the loop control variable will be decreased from a higher value to a lower value. Now how it is done? The for loop for I is in range 1 to 6, it was same. For J in range 6, it will be started with 6 and move up to I with the iteration value -1. That means each time the value of J will be decreased by 1. Initially it was 6, then it become 5, then it can become 4, then it become 2. 2, likewise it will decrease. So when the value of j will be decreased, the displaying of asterisk will be 5 times, then 4 times, then 3 times, then 2 times, and finally it will be 1 asterisk display. So this is what about nested loop, and this was the last topic of this chapter. After that, from tomorrow we'll start a new chapter. Up to that, go through the program, go through all 3 programs. Better to try this program in your computer. You will have a good output. Thank you and have a nice day.